broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello and welcome to AfterBuzz TV's coverage of Modern Family Season 7, Episode 12, Clean for a Day. We've got some fancy handwork, some jazz hands happening.
We're just doing a little
jazz hands happening. I'm going to start to the far left here.
We had that planned. What's up, guys? Khaliel Abooboo here on Twitter and Instagram at Khaliel Abooboo.
Hey, Lindsey Miller is my name. I almost forgot for a second.
It's okay.
And where can they find you on Twitter?
You're right, though.
Twitter,
your name
Instagram,
is Lindsey.
It is. Twitter, Instagram at Rockin' Mama Life.
What's up, everyone? As you all know, I'm not Adam. I'm guesting this week. Thanks to this very gracious panel. I really appreciate it. Jeffrey Graham is my name. You can find me on Twitter at Jeffrey C. Graham and Instagram at Jeffrey Crane Graham. Thank you.
Wow.
And the fact that I don't have an Instagram pun, considering my last name is Graham, is kind of a travesty. I learned that only after.
That's actually really true.
But what's funny is a studio audience travels with you.
I know.
What most people don't know about these studios is that we have a place for the studio audience. It's just most people don't see.
Yeah.
Most people don't drop by, but for Jeff, everybody drops by.
I brought it with me.
Here's the thing, Jeff. Every time we let somebody new or guest on the panel, there's a slight hazing period.
Is there?
That you have to go through. Yes,
Dude,
Roxy
I was in a
went
frat
through
in
it.
college. Come on.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
Bring it on.
Easier to get hazed if you bring a studio audience with you.
Yeah, he's got like
you guys can find me on Twitter at Steve Kauffman.
Despite
That's
the fact-
Kauffmann. Just getting that out of the way, and we can jump right into this episode. No, I'm not going to let that get in the way of all these bits. Just bits all over the place.
I was gonna say, despite the fact that a studio audience follows me around, they're not always super nice to me. So if the hazing process is happening, they will be on your side.
I like that.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
you heard it here first.
They're always on my side, just so you know.
Gotcha.
So we have a lot to get to with this episode. We'll jump right into Haley, Alex, and Sanjay.
Oh, Sanjay.
Sanjay, poor Sanjay.
Sniffing sweatshirts.
So
Loves it.
I like we get a bit of a Haley Alex moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was cute. Sisterhood.
Like a nice sister moment. It's clear Alex is home from college. They didn't really specify where we are in the timeline because, as we've noted on this show before, their timeline is a little wonky.
That doesn't really matter.
Because this is episode 12, and apparently episode 11 and 10 were supposed to happen before Christmas, which was numbers 9.
Yeah.
We did have a moment where Alex decided she wanted to stay at home but still go to college, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But that was supposedly the way they intended it. Supposedly supposed to be before the Christmas episode.
Rumor has it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But then they ran out of
rumor.
weeks, and our resident reporter, resident Modern Family reporter, which we'll get to some stuff.
I Google too much.
We'll get to some stuff. Do we think Alex and Sanjay are back together? Are they shipped?
I mean, they clearly got back together for
They
a
got
moment, but she did
closure.
say,
Yeah.
she said they got some closure, but I don't know. I think there's something there, but it's it's long distance.
Yeah, I think she should go back to college and just enjoy herself.
Yeah.
Well, he did mention that he was not really happy at Stanford, so there's a possibility people do transfer. Perhaps in the fall, Sanjay will enroll.
I think she needs to explore around a little bit.
Yeah, I think she
needs to, dip in a couple different pools, taste the water.
She did that, Quidditch player was friends with Luke.
Yeah, but that was the thing. He was a kid.
She was
from,
embarrassed.
But he was a kid because he was a kid from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
He was
Exactly.
Luke's age. Like she should date
No,
a
she
college
needs
dude
to-
at her own college.
Exactly.
I still think Sanjay's gonna end up
He's the
transferring, and then she'll probably fall in love with some other guy, and Sanjay is jealous, and it'll be all sorts of.
Wow, that's a good scoop.
I kind of want to see Alex date a non-nerd. I feel like that hasn't happened yet. Really.
That's what I was getting at right
like,
there.
I feel like it'd be interesting for the show because it seems like it's kind of expected the guys she dates, and I'd like to see the dynamic if she kind of dates like a dumb guy or like a jock
a
or something.
Yeah, like
or
a TA.
professor.
Wow.
Because that would be so out of character for her.
A TA or a professor?
No, I think a TA.
Okay.
I think a professor is a bit of a stretch, but I could see her like a TA because it's very inappropriate, but like.
But not super inappropriate?
Yeah.
Like it was on Gilmore Girls when it happened?
Yeah.
That was super inappropriate and they never...
It was super inappropriate.
They just killed that professor and we're just like, oh, she's gonna think she was in love forever.
Yeah.
But everything on Gilmore Girls is adorable, so it can't be inappropriate. It's the cutest show that's ever existed.
That was...
No, that was pretty inappropriate.
you wouldn't get away with that storyline today.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're moving on to that, to Mrs. Clutterworth.
Oh.
I do like Arrested Development recycled jokes.
Yep.
Did anyone sense
Was
that
that
a little
it?
bit?
I
Mrs.
never
Featherbottom?
Yeah, Mrs.
Only the best subplot of Arrested Development to ever exist.
There was the Mrs. Doubtfire,
Never watched it.
the bald gentleman who's one of the blue men.
Okay.
Tobias,
in order to see his kids, pretty much Mrs. Doubtfired them and came up with a completely original person named Mrs. Featherbottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then in typical that show fashion, like he put so much backstory and work into Mrs. Featherbottom that you could watch it 5 different times and catch 5 new different things.
Amazing.
This is actually all just an advertisement for Arrested Development. You can watch it on Netflix.
I'll check it out later.
Have we all had that moment either that we realize we're a bit too cluttered in our lives, or that we throw too much away?
I've had the cluttered moment actually, and I went through, cleaned out the closet, all the clothes that I don't wear, and I put them in a pile, and I put said pile on my bed, and now I'm out of sleeping room.
I was about to say, now you sleep with those clothes.
Yeah.
Because
now I sleep with the clothes.
I've gotten away with that in my life, where like things you need to handle before you go to bed, you leave them on your bed.
Oh, the worst.
No.
But over time, I've learned to just throw those things on my floor.
Right.
And then I keep putting them back on my bed, and then it's just this endless
Sounds
cycle.
messy. And dirty.
I'm never in the middle, which is where you're supposed to be, which is just understanding the pure value of a thing versus the space and time you have for it. What I am is I either clutter and let everything just fester and stay there, and then I go on a rampage and just start throwing everything away.
That's funny.
That said, I keep so many things.
That's how my husband is. He's like a hoarder, but like doesn't like to have things. So it's like really strange. Like he's always like, we need to get rid of stuff. And I'm like, okay, how about the Britney Spears poster you still have in the box somewhere? And he's like, no, we can't get rid of that.
Is it signed?
No. He has like those AOL like CD-ROMs, you know, that used to get like
in the mail.
500,000 of them in the mail.
Yeah.
His first job, he works in tech, and his first job was at AOL, and he has like hundreds of them.
That's amazing.
Will not part with them.
Are those signed?
No.
Who would sign them? America?
None of them are signed.
No, the guy who
But
found
like
it
he
AOL.
holds on to that stuff. He's like, I need to get rid of all these clothes. I'm like, you still wear those? And he's like, but we have too much stuff. I'm like, there's this giant box of crap.
Storage units are pretty cheap.
See, I don't have that much stuff, and I realized that the other day because I was moving, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to take forever. I've got to bring my laptop and my clothes. And then I was like, that's everything that I have.
That
is my phone and my chargers. I have like 6
Nice,
things.
Yeah.
I know. Sometimes I wish I had more stuff because I had a crisis where I was like, I'm a middle-aged adult, and I have like 6 things. It's like I can write down all of the things that I have on one
It's
sheet of
okay.
paper.
Someday you'll have kids, and then your house will like explode with more stuff than you ever wanted.
Well, because I came from a house like that, and I have my childhood bedroom is filled to the brim with things that my parents keep telling me, like, we're about to sell this house. You need to come back here and take care of all these things. So if you guys need like Chris Benoit action figures,
No. And
follow
I'm
me
terrible.
on Twitter. I might.
I like throw everything out. Like my son brings. He's 2.5, so I mean his artwork. Is,
You
like,
throw your son
not really
out?
Artwork. Oh, no, my son. But, like
got
his
confusing.
artwork.
You're
and
not the
stuff like
first mom
that,
to do that.
Like
Don't
doesn't
feel
even
awkward.
make it into the house. Like I throw out everything. I'm like, we're done with those. You don't fit in those clothes anymore. Send them away.
But that's where I like the polar opposites, and then the ultimate flip.
Yeah.
Of Claire just wanting to toss everything, and then Luke and Phil wanting to just like, no, we want to keep these things. And I think we've all been there where you go through things intending to throw them out, and then you wind up using them again.
I love the cowboy hat.
That was a good cowboy hat.
It's very
That
Pharrell.
was horrendous.
What?
I'm with Luke. I'm like, you should have kept the racket and let the cowboy hat go. It was
You can wear the
hideous.
cowboy hat. What am I going to do with a
You
racket?
shouldn't wear that hat in public. It was
If you want to prevent
hideous.
forest fires, you should wear that hat.
If you want to
awful.
keep your face out of the sun,
If
should
you
wear
want to
that hat.
never have any more children with your wife, wear that hat.
probably doesn't.
Yeah, they got three. They got three. They're pretty old. It's pretty good.
Read the subtext, fellas. Read the subtext.
I actually didn't love this version of Claire. Sometimes I feel like they can push Claire to be
Yeah.
a little too neurotic. And I sort of felt like this Claire was like a little, like the way she just wouldn't even listen to Luke and Phil. I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like Claire would at least.
Although I did like the line at the end where they were like, "Is it 5 o'clock?"
Yeah.
That I wish
Yeah.
they had stuck with that the whole way. That this is just part of Mrs. Clutterworth.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that she throws a bunch of stuff away, and then she feels bad about something, and then like that's the turn.
Yeah, you're right.
That I would have actually appreciated a little more like, it's okay, we have to do it because she said so.
Right.
But at the same time, like, it's that time of year when Mrs. Clutterworth comes out,
Yeah.
and we have to put everything in the truck, and then she has to drive the truck back.
Yeah, I hear you. I wish they would have made it more of like a seeming convention to like, because I would have bought in more, I think. a
Yeah,
little bit.
because this is the only time Claire. Because I think that's one thing that did lose me. Like, so
Right.
this is the first time Claire's had a breakdown about throwing stuff away.
Yeah.
Well, because she hadn't driven it to drop it off previously.
That
And
is
that's
fair.
what I feel like they didn't really explain. Like, why did Phil always bring it in the past? And she never, like, why is she bringing it now if
And
he
that's
always
like
brought it in the past?
That would be 2 lines.
I
to
got
just-
the impression that Phil was rescuing the stuff from the trash every time.
No. She said,
No, but she
"Those
did say-
drop
Oh,
offs
she did
that
say.
you know,
but that
never
was
made it to the
but that was a
thing."
little rough. That it
Yeah.
we could have
Yeah.
known. Like, that could have been 2 sentences of like, Phil, I don't trust you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drive this, and
You're
that would be
right.
the first time that happened.
Yeah.
But there was a little wonky there, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I think we're ready to move on to some news and gossip because we got some.
Oh, yes.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Lindsay.
Yeah, that would be me. So Julie Bowen, who plays Claire, was on Ellen, and she was sharing some scoop from Sofia Vergara's wedding. That apparently it was a 3-day celebration, and they had an IV hydration ambulance truck
All right.
for the guests to rehydrate themselves with IVs.
I want to go.
I have one question.
Yeah.
I want to marry her too, though. But go ahead.
Is it
She's
just
already married.
is it just the guests or is it the vendors and like the DJ,
I think it was
the
just,
servers, the bus people?
I think it was just the guests, solely to promote them partying to their fullest extent.
Okay.
And
okay.
then
So.
rehydrating. So
Oh,
they
all
don't
right. Oh,
die.
it's the drinking, not.
I think it was to support the drinking.
Okay, I thought the
Yeah.
wedding was somewhere so inclement.
No. It was definitely not inclement.
But I
I
was
think
like-
it was because there was so much partying
Okay.
going on. They were like, there's nothing that can't be undone.
That sounds
by
like work at
IV
that point.
hydration.
Yeah.
Well, if you're drinking so much that you need to rehydrate yourself,
Well, I mean,
like maybe.
a 3-day bender, like a 3-day bash.
I just don't think I have like a glass of wine and I'm like, woo, party time. Like I don't think
I've
That is
never.
kind
I'm
of
with
an
you.
insane precedent to set. Like, not only do we imagine, but we
Right.
expect that everyone will
Yes.
poison themselves to the point of needing
Right.
hospitalization. Have fun.
Bridezilla's everywhere. Take note. Now the new hot thing. It's not the photo booth that's out. That's way past it.
Well, no, you put the photo booth in the
You
hydration
need to have
tent.
a hydration ambulance.
Oh
not
yeah,
just a
you can
food
take
truck.
pictures while you're hydrating.
put
That
on-
would be really cool.
You could put on a Thor hat.
Like,
hold
what?
Thor's
How
hammer.
does that? I can't
What would
even.
Thor have to do with hydration?
That's-
You have to do
those
like
are the props that are in
Aqualad.
it.
I know,
So
but you got to do
ridiculous.
something like themed with hydration.
Fair enough, Aquaman.
Love it. So also, Alan Arkin, Emmy and Tony nominated actor who was in Northern Exposure, Chicago Hope, Life, a bunch of other roles, is going to be a guest star on Modern Family. He's going to be a dentist for the LA Kings that befriends Jay. And we'll see his episode sometime in April. And then Ariel Winter, who I love, 18 years old now. Happy birthday. She went to the red carpet for the SAG Awards in this beautiful black gown, and a lot of people were talking because you could see her breast reduction surgery scars. She had her breast reduction surgery about 7 months ago, and she had an amazing tweet that said, "There's a reason I didn't make an effort to cover up my scars. They're part of me, and I'm not ashamed of them at all." And I thought again, we've seen Ariel Winter in Twitter. She just is a strong, confident young woman who's very sure of herself, and I just love, everything she says. I think it's great.
You gotta grow up. You gotta grow up real fast if you have to emancipate your parents.
Yeah.
But you just.
Yeah.
And I think growing up specifically around like all the people on this show, probably help you with that learning curve.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's really rare in Hollywood to see somebody who's this kind of verge of child actor, adult actor, be so mature and not use that opportunity to kind of get wrapped up in all the wrong things in Hollywood, but just really be a positive role model for young girls.
And be mature to the point that, like, every time I hear these stories about people who are, like, 19 and on hit TV shows, and everyone, like, the Miley Cyruses and the Lindsay Lohans, and you, like, watch them, like, break down, I'm like, yeah, but think of yourself at that age.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And put yourself at that age in their position, where they're making more money than anyone around them.
The Justin Biebers of the world, and you wonder why they're acting like clowns. You're like, they're kids. It's such a,
Yeah. The more you know.
Rest in peace to the boobies.
Wow.
I guess she's legal now, so all right, Khaliel.
That is definitely. I was about to say well said, but
I haven't gotten that mature thing yet, but
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
We've two more topics to get to, so we're just gonna kind of power through that one.
We're predicting.
We're gonna talk about.
We've got more to talk about.
there you go.
We're gonna talk about.
I was just trying to change the subject.
Thank you for that, Steven. To change the subject, we're on to Jay, Cam, and the plane. Gloria had a vision, which Gloria seems to have sometimes.
She has these dreams.
That Jay is going to plummet to his death.
Mm-hmm.
I've had dreams that come true in real life.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
It's never like epic. It's more just. It's
one
more just.
dream that came true.
It's more just like me standing in a room with people like standing a certain. Like you're standing here, somebody's standing over there, like something like that. Like it's nothing like I'm not Raven from That's So Raven. Like no, I don't have visions, but I have had stuff like that.
I've never seen That's So Raven. Apparently, that's what it's about.
What was your craziest?
Never
dream?
seen.
Oh my gosh, Raven.
Okay.
Fantastic.
That's what she does. So.
Yeah, she does.
Was born in. All right, that was Blue Steel. That was. That was So Raven.
It seems Gloria E to have visions. Like I thought that. I'm not sure if I love this subplot overall, but I don't know.
I liked it. I thought it was sweet.
Mm-hmm. And I like the idea of Jay immediately tackling his retirement and his free time, because that strikes me as something he'd do.
Yeah, that's a good
Whereas
point.
like a lot of people and maybe even a lot of shows would write that character for weeks, just like sitting around watching, like binge watching a show. Whereas they skipped that part and went straight to like, nope, Jay is just tackling his retirement.
Yeah.
He's just gonna hit it head on. He's gonna learn to fly a plane. He's gonna golf. He's gonna learn to like take his wife to all these fancy places.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then have one near death experience and be like, whatever.
Thanks to Cam.
Thanks to Cam.
Typical sitcom.
Of course, I love like the very Marx Brothers style like bedlam that happened in that plane for like 1 second.
Yeah.
Like whereas this show's very good at finding those moments and then getting out of those moments real quick.
Yeah, it was funny. I like the callback with the tote bag too.
Of course.
Oh my gosh, that's his tactical tote. Gentleman's tactical tote.
Yeah.
I liked him liking Gus. I thought that was fun.
Oh yeah.
That was really
Obviously,
funny.
he was a stunning looking.
I just thought of who Gus I thought it was. Josh Duhamel.
That's what he looked
but Josh
like.
Duhamel is gorgeous.
That's what he looked like. But
okay, but it wasn't.
I actually read for
Thank
that.
you, everyone.
I actually read for Gus.
Did you?
No, I did not.
I
could have.
Yeah.
You could have. You totally could have.
Because they might just call everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know.
I could have read for Gus.
It's Hollywood.
So at the same time that Cam's in the plane with Gus and Jay, and it almost goes down, but Gus wakes up, which is convenient.
Yeah.
It's convenient. I'm
Very
happy Jay didn't have to land that plane by himself.
Well, because he crashes all of his like fake planes. What are they called?
RC planes.
It
Which
was the R something.
drones.
He's 2.5.
He's probably gonna buy drones next.
Yeah, he's gonna get
Probably.
drones. Those are grand.
At least
so
you
get
can use
ready.
those to spy on our neighbors, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can
He's
get
probably gonna spy on women.
If you're
No.
crashing them
Grown
first, you
women.
should buy You should buy a $200 drone and then wreck that.
Yeah.
Wreck that and then buy another $200 drone and then wreck that until you spend $1,000 on a drone.
Yeah, he'll have to pay for his own drone.
Yeah.
Because
This is drone buying with Steve.
$5. It's not gonna happen.
But Mitch is teaching Lily how to play the flute,
Yes.
and he's bad at it.
Well,
It's a bad-
he is a superb flautist himself. Lily is not when
Not
he's
so
teaching
much.
her. Yeah.
Well, and then what we're learning is Mitch is just not a very good teacher.
Yes.
No. He's too smart to teach.
Yes.
Of course.
That is
He
very
is smart to
possible.
teach.
It's
That's
very possible. That's a
exactly
thing.
what it is.
That's not a thing.
It is a thing.
I
No.
hear you.
It's a thing.
Some people are really good at teaching and some people are really not. You can be really good at something and be a terrible teacher. And you can be really crappy at something but be able to teach people really well how to do it.
It's how the saying goes. Those who can't do, teach. And those who can't teach Jim.
I feel like Pritchett's aren't
Jim
teachers.
is really challenging to
Pritchett's
teach.
Well, but if
I feel
you
like the
can't,
Pritchett's.
if you can't teach Jim, you teach Jim, the guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, but, like I feel like I don't really see Claire, Jay, or Mitch being really strong teachers because they're not the most patient.
Yeah.
Is what I think it's not like a Pritchett quality. I feel like it's more like a Dunphy quality.
Yeah, patience.
Sort of. Yeah.
Patience
Yeah.
and explanation and like a certain
Thinking of other people.
yeah, like a certain
Dunphy raised those ducks. so-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I
but
feel
there's
like-
also a certain excitement and excitement for someone learning a new thing and a certain empathy for that person that the Pritchetts don't seem to have either.
right.
But like there's a level of like I could see Mitch just like, okay, I'm gonna teach you how to golf.
Right.
I'm gonna teach you how to be a flautist. Well, you won't be as good as me,
Yeah.
but you'll be all right now.
Whereas Phil would like dive in. He would like make
Yeah.
a cheerleading routine based on the teaching
Yeah.
experience. Like he would like make it an all-inclusive, huge.
Yeah.
Probably like shoot a video for
Yeah.
it and stuff.
Oh, obviously.
He would shoot the instructional video
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and edit it himself, and then he would teach you how to edit
Yeah.
Yeah.
all the stuff.
Yeah.
Because that
Perfect.
is actually great. Because to be a teacher, you have to have that excitement about someone else learning.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah.
you don't have that, then you're just kind of talking.
Right.
Although I've been taught by a lot of good
Mitch.
talkers.
That's Mitch.
That's Mitch.
See, too smart to teach. I'm telling you guys, it's a thing.
Not too smart.
okay.
It's like too like esoteric. Like you're too like in your own head. You know what I mean? It's not
Goodbye that.
necessarily too smart.
Also-
It's
a person does a lot of thinking, is what
they
you're
think
saying.
too much. Yeah.
Oh,
Also trying to teach
thinking.
someone
smart.
Trying to teach
That's what
someone
smart people do.
how to golf.
Yeah.
That's a really difficult one. Does anybody watch Rick and Morty?
I wish. I've
There's
heard
a-
it's the best.
It's the best. There's an episode where there's a character there called Mr. Meeseeks, and it's there's intergalactic stuff where it's a sci-fi comedy show where anything can happen, and one of the characters created a box where you hit a button, and then this blue dude comes out and said, "Hey, I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me," and he only exists to help you with one task, and then he disappears and he dies forever. And the whole plot was that somebody asked him how to take 2 strokes off his golf swing, and Mr. Meeseeks couldn't do it, so he called another Mr. Meeseeks, and at some point there were just like a million Mr. Meeseeks, and they all decide it's too hard to teach him to golf, then they're just gonna kill him.
Are you familiar with the Cat in the Hat? It
Yeah,
seems
it's
as
the
if the
same idea.
writers stole the idea
It's the-
from
well,
the Cat
it's
in the
a-
Hat, where they keep bringing the little things and
And when
the
you
little
give
things
if
and
you
the
give a
little
mouse a
things and
cookie, it's a long-standing
It was
trope.
the original pitch for this plot in this episode, but they thought it wouldn't work for a live action
Yeah,
comedy.
a live-action Mr. Meeseeks.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
No. I would
More
not.
news and gossip.
I would not.
Jeff, you're earning your keep.
Thanks, guys.
So, I think right there with Jeff earning his keep, I think we can jump right into your favorite line. Starting with our special guest.
Well, I'm supposed to think of one that no one else would have thought of, right?
Well, you get to go first, so now you just get to say what your favorite was.
Yeah. so
I
doesn't
did
matter.
love when Julie Bowen / Claire Dunphy delivered this line. Battery acid is leaking inside of me. Time to die. I thought that was pretty
That was
funny.
a well-delivered line. Yeah.
Thank you.
Love your
Okay.
commitment.
Thank you.
That was really good.
Thanks, guys.
Good acting.
First time.
So my favorite line was actually not even funny, and it's for personal reasons.
Okay.
It was when Claire was talking about all of the memories coming back, and she was like, "Oh, and their dresses, and Luke's little tux, and Phil in his bunny suit." Because, guys, my husband has
A bunny suit.
a bunny suit for
Wow.
Easter.
Like a
And he-
Christmas story?
For like Easter, he went
Yeah,
out and
but-
got it, and he was so excited about it, and he put it on, and our son was petrified.
That sounds
he came
so fun.
hopping out with the Easter basket, and he was so excited. And our son was like 1.5. Yeah,
That's-
1.5. And he cried and ran and clung to me and was so scared and would not go near his Easter basket for like an hour. It was hysterical. He was so horrified.
I actually really like scaring little kids. It sounds terrible, but it's fun. If you
right.
like, give it a shot. Like, get your little cousins or something and like go scare them. Like, it's really fun.
Let's bring Joe on the after show and see how Khaliel and him do.
If you've learned nothing else from this show, it's that scaring little kids is fun.
It's fun. All right?
Everyone should do
Somebody's gonna comment under there like, no, I actually scare my little sister all the time. It's fun. Somebody's gonna do that. I'm telling you, it's fun. That's why he didn't return the suit, did he?
No, we still
There
have
you-
the suit.
there you go.
It's in the closet every
There you
year.
go.
It will be horrifying children all over Los Angeles.
Because it's fun. That's why they have horror. Okay. All right. So I actually didn't like have like a favorite, but there were some that were like really, really good. The one from my guy Mitch when he was like, "Here's to 40 years of being in the closet business."
Yeah, that was like.
I thought that was a really
That
good
was
one.
cute.
Yeah.
And then the other one, and then when Jay claps back with, don't forget Lily's recital, and he's like, I can't, I'm swamped at work. That's not going to work anymore.
That snuck up on me, I think.
That was awesome. Mine had to be. I was trying to call the gardener. I should go let him in. It would be cruel to make Caesar hop another wall.
That was so
Yeah, I
wrong.
didn't know
That was so
Can I be
wrong.
totally... Oh, Caesar is in...
Caesar's a.
Oh, that's pretty funny. They should have used a less historically Roman name because I feel like in my head I'm thinking
wait,
about
I don't-
Roman.
Caesar
They're just
who?
talking about a generic Latino man.
Yes. I
Yeah.
thought it was.
Yeah, they should have used it like a Julio or something like that.
Maybe
But-
I'm dumb.
That
but
was way over my. I was thinking like
I
Julius
just understood.
Caesar.
Same here.
Also-
I
That's what I was
assumed
like, I
there
did
was
not get
some.
that.
That's what I thought the first time. I was like, that doesn't make sense. So they must mean Caesar in like a Hispanic sense.
It took me 20 minutes because I'm
That
just
was-
understanding.
I just
it
don't
now.
even think of that.
No,
as like
I
a
did
Hispanic
get
name.
it, but yeah.
Well, I
think
think
of it as
calling
like a
it, but I
Donald
feel like
Roman
calling
guy.
him Julio or Juan would have just been too on the nose.
Yeah.
It would have been.
They wouldn't have 50% of the audience confused, like Jeff and I.
It does seem like if you use a name that's that like historically loaded.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, it's
Like,
like being
perhaps
like
we're
Obama
missing something.
or something.
I don't know.
So a really common name like that, you know.
Also, the other line, the honorable mention was, "What's wrong, Manny? Too many friends?" What about the clown
that was
stuff?
Good. Yeah, the clown stuff.
Oh yeah.
That was another
That
good
was
line.
good.
That was great. Yeah.
That wraps us up here.
Yeah.
So
Does it?
Do you guys not
does.
make
it
predictions?
does.
It does.
No.
Okay.
Just because the show likes to move
Right.
pretty slow.
I bet there will be jokes next episode, you guys.
I still am annoyed that we haven't dealt with Haley and Andy.
But we all know why.
We're getting there.
Do we know
Because
why?
Adam Devine.
Adam Devine is
working?
very busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's Modern Family. It's the most
I know.
watched comedy in the United States.
That's
Is
fair.
it?
It is.
I
Well,
think so.
I think
feel like-
that's false. I think Big Bang Theory
I
is
feel like
kind
you
of
said-
better than them.
Single cam.
Single
The most
counts,
watched-
but yeah.
Single cam.
All right. Well, Jeff, if people want to tweet you any more corrections.
Guys, thanks for putting up with me this week. I appreciate it. You can find me on Twitter at Jeffrey C. Graham and Instagram at Jeffrey Crane Graham. Thank you.
Lindsey Miller, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Rockin' Mama Life.
Khaliel Abooboo on Instagram and on Twitter. Khaliel Abooboo.
You can find me exclusively on Twitter. I'm at Steve Kauffman, KAUFMANN. This suit courtesy of snapsuits.com. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.